we're still driving. We got 36 minutes left to go. So this is quite a trip.
Yeah, it's like a little over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something from the house. So it's a long way out here. Still got, like I said, 36 minutes to go.
Hopefully it's worth it.
I hope so. If not, I ain't coming back over this way.
No, because we still got to go to the Cloudland
Canyon.
Yeah, we still have to do that. So
Yeah, we've been out this way once. We went to Cave Springs.
where Lori misled, oversold.
This could be the same thing, but we'll see.
I don't know. We actually know people who went here, so.
But we seen a train.
We did see a train, and I love trains.
So we're headed. It's almost going to be into Alabama, it looks like. So might go to Alabama.
Why not?
Fort Payne, Alabama, is just right across the border.
I don't know if I want to go to Fort Payne.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so onward we go. We've been like driving for miles and literally haven't seen like maybe a handful of cars. This is like way back. We passed through some little small town, Villanelle, right? Villanelle.
Oh, well.
Saw a sod farm, so that was cool. But yeah, this is like backcountry. Oh look, here comes a car. So the road we're turning down is called The Narrows. It doesn't look very narrow, and I'm surprised that it's paved, to be honest with you. But this is legit like nowhere. How far away?
15 minutes. Black Springs Creek Road is our next road. 3.2 miles. Yeah, I don't think anybody's out here.
You don't think?
No, I don't think.
Yeah, it's legit middle of nowhere. And we don't know how far we're going to have to walk, too, so we'll see.
What?
What would you say the primary job demographic is around here?
It looks like a lot of farmland. See a lot of cows, hay fields, sod fields.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm fairly certain there's no Walmart around here. Like anywhere.
So you have to cut this part out.
Do what?
It's either farming or meth. I'm not sure. Nah, it looks like a lot of farmland.
It's really nice out here. It's pretty. But it is way back. And the last time we went this far back, we ended up
stuck.
So
Then it got dark.
yeah. Hopefully it's still early enough, you know. But it does get dark earlier this time of year too.
I think we're fine.
We're always fine.
Except for this goat trail road we're on.
I know. You just washed a Kia too. It's the brakes.
Oh, what dirt.
Well, there we go. I don't get on a soapbox about a whole lot of shit. And not a whole lot really offends me. But I hate litter. There's no reason for that. 90% of the counties in Georgia have free dump sites. Y'all, we have no idea where we're going. I don't know if that's...
I have no idea. You were the research queen. All right.
Well, hello.
Welcome back to Travels with Tommy and Lori. And today we're out in the middle of no fucking where.
Literally nowhere.
So apparently this little goat trail right here
Behind us.
We're supposed to walk down that thing for like a half a mile to find the
ruins
of
an old mansion.
What's the name of the damn mansion?
Corpsewood Manor.
Corpsewood Manor. The name of this little trail is Dead Horse.
Dead Horse Road. Yeah.
So yeah, we have to take that with us today. So let's go check it out. See what we can find. 32 degrees, and we're literally out in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere.
So let's go check it out. See what we got.
People are so stupid. Seriously, stupid. So Drama King over here, thanks for walking into a Blair Witch scenario.
Well, there's a red on that tree, and there's a red on that tree, and 2 greens on that tree. So I don't know what the hell.
Well, I would say green means go. Red means don't go that way. Or that way.
But it's pretty easy walking.
Yeah, it's flat. For the most part, I mean, there's a hill back there, but it is freaking freezing out here. And I didn't bring my gloves. And I wore a sweater because I figured, you know, we'll be walking. I'll get hot. No.
You might have to jog to get
I might have to jog back. Per usual, I am not prepared. It's like an obstacle course, y'all. And the green kind of leads you around it. So, we'll see. If it wasn't for the fact that the trail is so clearly marked, I'd for sure think we were being punked. But, no, this is the way. Well, we made it.
We made it. There it is.
I'm seriously out of breath. But, that's a hike.
It's back here. They said a half a mile, but it's probably a little bit farther than that. And you got a bunch of detours around where the trees and stuff had fell over the road. So just to make it easier, they detoured it around.
Yeah. But a lot of climbing over trees too, you know, and I'm short.
But this is out in the middle of nowhere.
If I could do this every day, y'all, I'd probably be in good shape.
If they wanted seclusion, they sure got it here.
Okay, so the story.
All right, hang on.
Okay, so back in the 80s, there was this gentleman couple. They moved here from Chicago. The one was a doctor. The other one was the doctor's housekeeper and companion. So they wanted a place so they could live off-grid and be in seclusion and everything. And they bought this 40-acre piece of property, Summerville.
Yeah.
In Summerville, Georgia. So they built this and they lived here happily for a while. And till apparently they took in 2 drifters. There's conflicting stories. Some say it was just random strangers that showed up and did what they did, but it appears that they actually took the people in. And they lived there for a while all together, and it was two other men. And I guess by the time that they realized they needed to get these guys out, it was too late. They had pretty much taken over the compound. Well, I say compound, but the manor.
The area.
So they had a party one night, and I guess a fight broke out, and the owner was like, y'all need to leave. You know, you're not welcome here anymore. So they went to bed, and the dude killed both of them and their 2 dogs. They had 2 bull mastiffs here on the property. So, yeah, it's a little bit creepy. I mean, it's beautiful, though, the way the ivy's overgrown, but it's got some dark history or some, you know, dark mythos around it. I think the locals call it Devil Worshippers Mountain because supposedly the doctor who owned the place was into the occult, which, you know, as am I. And I don't worship the devil, so I'm pretty sure he didn't either. But, yeah, so they said that it was, you know, there was Satan worshiping going on out here and, you know, things of that ilk. But, and, you know, probably knowing people the way we know people, it was, you know.
They were out here all alone and nobody liked it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it
And they had money, you know,
yeah.
So they got robbed for who they were and what they had. And, you know, most likely that's the end of that story.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But we'll take some.
Pretty interesting. Like to our left here, you can see the old part of the staircase that
We'll flip you around so you can see.
Trip over. So there's the the spiral staircase that went up to the second floor. And you really can't tell what anything else was.
Well, this was, I think that was the gazebo.
Let's walk over there and look.
But you are allowed to visit. It is on private property, but you are allowed to visit as long as you're respectful. And they do keep an eye on the property. So, you know, this is all, I guess, wildlife management land now.
That had a window in it. I don't know what this was. You see?
Well, I saw on the...
It's got one window, and then this
one of the
is
websites that one of these structures was the gazebo, but that don't look like a gazebo anymore to me.
This
That does.
looks almost the same as that. It's got a metal roof in it, but it's still got someone. I don't know what the hell it was. Be interesting to see if you can find some old plans on this and see how it was laid out.
See what it looked like back in the day.
Because you know the staircase is right there, so we have to be in a room back here.
But this structure burnt down. I think where they, there's a fire that started after they were murdered.
Oh.
And this burnt down. And then I guess the barn and stuff that was attached fell down.
So these are all rounded walls. I don't know.
I wonder if it was like they built a little castle.
Interesting to see some original
Yeah.
plans of it though.
Yeah, it would be. If that's an all brick staircase, I wonder.
Yeah, that was part of the staircase that went
That
up.
would have been extremely expensive. But apparently this doctor, he was a professor at Loyola College in Chicago, and he was an accomplished harp player too.
A harp player?
Yeah.
Wow.
I bet this was gazebo, what we walked through.
Could
That
be.
seems more gazebo-ish to me.
Yeah, I would
And those
say
were
so.
probably benches.
Well, this was the corner of that room.
Oh,
Right here
okay,
was
gotcha.
another corner of that room, so that could have been a gazebo. But you just walk right up in it. I mean, it's pretty much gone. You got trees laying all over the top of it. When you walk out and you're out in the middle of the woods. There's no sign of any other thing that was built.
It's so sad, though, to think about it. You know? Hey, Tommy. How creepy would it be if we ran out of that bed and we were right back at the...
You said it. Plenty of shit start building a fire with.
That's how my mind works. That's why I write books. Because I have some creepy damn scenarios going on in my head. Well, we made it back safe. So
Yep.
we weren't killed, kidnapped, possessed.
Well,
That we know of.
It was not that bad of a walk back there, so definitely if you're out this way, definitely walk back there, especially it says it's 45 degrees. It's warm.
There ain't no way it's 45 degrees.
Something is not right.
Dude, it's freaking snowing. I just literally just saw land. Hang on. Now, of course, it's not going to do it. Right when you said it's 45 degrees, it landed on the windshield and melted. All right. So the thing about the internet is there's a lot of disinformation out there. Shocking surprise. We didn't do a whole lot of research on this. I had seen this story years ago and vaguely remembered it. And then we had some friends who went like 2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple years. And that's all I knew about it. I just knew I had to walk out in the middle of the woods and find this thing.
So anyway, you know, we didn't even look it up before we went out there. It was we kind of decided on a whim and just got the address and GPS'd it. And I was going off memory of some stuff that I had read. Well, once you get there and you explore a little bit, it kind of starts to come into perspective, at least it did for me, that some of the stuff I'd heard, it didn't feel right. So that's the two gentlemen that did the killing.
Gentlemen.
Well, I'm just saying. Anyway.
And when I was out there, I was like, it'd be nice to have some plans. This was not drawn up and passed by the townspeople. These people just carried everything out there in the middle of the woods and they built it themselves.
Yeah, this was all hand built. And when you look at the pictures of what it looked like in its heyday, it's really incredible to think that these two men.
And I know they had some help. Getting stuff out there. They had to, but
maybe they had that.
How many bricks you said?
46,000 bricks.
That's a lot of bricks.
All laid by hand too.
Yeah.
It took them a year. They lived out there in a camper, and it took them a year, before they could move into the first level.
Yeah.
And then by Christmas of the following year, it was completed.
Yeah, they had the upper done, right?
Yeah. But they had no running water. They had no electricity. Of course, no running water equates to no indoor plumbing. So somebody that I watched said one of those outdoor structures there was the outhouse with the chemical toilet. But Tommy says he read...
Yeah, another one that I watched, it was behind that.
Yes.
So where the chicken coop was at.
Right. So, anyway, the chicken coop was where they were actually murdered at. So, apparently, they knew Kenneth Avery Brock. He had come around asking permission to hunt on their land.
Right.
And he let them... the couple let him hunt there for, a long time. And apparently they drank together and stuff. Well, Kenneth Avery Brock went to his buddy, Tony West, and was telling him...
about these two rich guys that live out in the woods.
Right. Little did they know that the couple had sunk every dime they had into building that place.
Right.
So, sorry about that. I had a notification. But anyway, so they decided to go out there. And this is where it kind of gets conflicting, though, because in a couple of videos we've watched since we started researching this, and a couple of the videos we watched, one guy, and I guess he was a local there, was saying that Tony West had showed up there trying to party with them, too, because apparently they were famous for their little shindigs that they threw. They made homemade wine and stuff. But they had run him off and told him no, he wasn't allowed to be there. So he already had a grudge against them to begin with. And then Avery Brock telling Tony West, they've got a bunch of money hidden up there. So Avery Brock and Tony West go up there, and the couple invite them up they had a 3-story chicken coop, and the top of the chicken coop was a party room. So they invite them up there. There was apparently 2 other people with them that were not involved in the murders. They actually tried to get away when they realized things was about to go south, but were made to come back, to the scene. So anyway, they get them up. They're up there in the chicken coop, and they're having a good time and everything. And Kenneth Avery Brock goes and gets a shotgun. And when he comes back with the gun, Dr. Charles Scudder says, what's this, or bang bang, or something like that, and it goes bad from there. So both the couples ended up dead. They shot the 2 bull mastiffs the couple had, and
it's a very surreal thing when you get out there and you realize what you're looking at and what happened there.
It's sad. I mean, it's really just sad.
The doctor's partner, his ashes are actually scattered out there. His sister took him back to, was it?
No, Wisconsin.
And had him buried.
In the family plot. So they're separated, which is terrible, because clearly this couple had been together. Dr. Scudder had been married. He had actually been married twice. And his second marriage, he had 4 sons. Well, he waited until those sons were an adult, and Joey Odom, which later became his partner, was the housekeeper and the nanny. So once Dr. Scudder's sons were of legal age, he decided, I'm going to go live my life, and I'm going to do my own thing. So him and Joey Odom moved from Chicago to Summerville, Georgia.
Nowhere, middle Georgia.
Literally, middle of nowhere, Georgia. On this 40 acres. They only paid like 10 grand for it.
10-5.
Yeah. So, and then they, like I said, they built this house by hand. This was their dream. You know, so it's really sad looking at it in the context of, you know, that putting
everything they've been through.
Everything, yeah, and putting everything on the line to do that, and then having these two assholes, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, one of them was very young.
Yeah, he was 17.
And the other one was like 30 years old.
But what killed me in reading, you know, the crime reports and the trial records and all that stuff, the transcripts, was that their defense was, well, they were gay devil worshippers anyway, so no big deal. But the town, which, you know, this was 1982, it wasn't very common to have an openly gay couple.
No.
And we're talking it's Georgia too. The town actually stood behind the victims and said, we don't care if they were gay devil worshippers.
You killed somebody.
You killed somebody, you know, that's it. So these two dudes are still sitting in prison somewhere, which I think, I don't even know if I want to get into that. It's too good for them. But I also think death penalty would have been too good for them, too.
You're just mad because they killed the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, why? Why?
But yeah, it's a horrible story.
It really is. It's just, we keep a backlog of these vlogs. So this one, has been a while ago that we did it, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, it stays.
Just randomly.
It stays in your head.
Just randomly. He'll come in the bedroom and be like, man, I just can't believe blah, 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 blah. But if you want to go out there, that's cool. But just keep in mind, it is open. It's privately owned, but anybody can go out there, and there appears to have been some nefarious goings on out there with the stupid satanic 666 bullshit and all that.
Just remember, look for the two big stones that are right there, and they had dug out like 3 pits where you couldn't actually drive a car back there anymore. But once you get out of your car and you walk, it's a nice little walk back through there. And somebody has went through with spray paint, and about every 50 yards, I guess, they'd sprayed a tree or a log or something to know you're on the right track to get back there. And it's straight back. It's easy to follow.
Yeah, it's not a hard trail at all. The hardest part for me was some of those trees were, some of those down trees.
Like 2-3 foot off the ground.
Yeah, well, some of them were, almost chest high for me. And I had to either bear crawl under them or crawl over top of them. So, I mean, that wasn't the most joyous part of the day. But anyway,
go check it out.
Go check it out.
It's a nice hike back there, and you'll see what we're talking about when you get back there. You'll feel horrible for what happened there. Yeah,
go see it because it's not going to last much longer.
No.
All I can tell you is even just from the pictures of when it was new, you could tell that they didn't know much about masonry.
It wasn't going to last.
It wasn't going to last. Yeah, it wouldn't have lasted 100 years. Which is evident. But houses go bad when they sit abandoned. You wouldn't have had the
fire, and you wouldn't have had the vandals come through there probably in the late 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
There would be a lot more of it standing. You'd be able to tell a lot more about it. But that's it. If, and we know how ifs are. So,
yeah.
It happened, but they're still. You can still tell some of the layout of the house. You still get a feel of the property. You still get a feel of what happened there. And what they went through to build that thing. And, half a mile off the road in 1980 or 1981.
Yeah.
To build that thing. And it's a dirt road probably 3 miles before you get there. So.
And they named it Dead Horse. This is another little interesting. Yeah. They named it Dead Horse because when they initially came from Chicago and went to walk the property as it was being surveying, they found a dead horse out there, so they just named it Dead Horse Road.
Yeah, I don't know where the Corpsewood.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Is that probably from the dead trees?
Yeah. Well, when they got out there and they saw, I guess, lightning. I don't know if it was a lightning strike on those trees or what, but they were standing tall and bare. They decided to name it Corpsewood, so that's where that came from too. I always thought that was something that the townspeople had named it, but no, it was them. But anyway, after we got done with that, we went to Jerry's Drive-In.
Jerry's Drive-In, yeah.
It was a no-contact type of place. It was kind of like an old Sonic. It was pretty good. I mean, the burger was totally solid. Tommy had a hot dog.
Yeah, the hot dog, the burger. I mean, it was good. Good little place to eat. It reminded me of like a diner style.
Yeah.
And fries were great. The only thing we didn't like was the Coke was a little flat.
Yeah, the Coke had like no carbonation to it.
I mean, if that's all you can complain about, it ain't too bad.
If we were in that area, I would stop in again.
Yeah,
so, I mean.
Got, hot dogs, hamburgers, and fries.
Yeah, you got onion rings.
I got onion rings. Onion rings was good. I mean, everything
I tried
was
one
good.
of his onion rings. They were pretty good.
To be in a small town like that, we were probably, from the manor back there, we were probably a good 20, 25 minutes back to town because we was out in the middle of nowhere. So when we got there, like I said, it was old Sonic, but the speakers were broke. You had to call the number and order what you wanted, and they brought it out to you. And it was what you expected. It was a good hot dog, good burger, good.
The burger was really good. It was juicy. It was delicious, and it was cheap.
It was comparative. Let's just say that it was like $20.
Okay.
For everything we got.
So anyway, that was our trip, and like I said, we're still talking about it.
Yep.
So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we upload new content. Till next time, bye-bye.